This is Indonesia di Sekitarmu from Bahasa Learning Center.
My name is Indi.
And my name is Donna.
And we will assist you in learning Indonesian today.
Right, so for today's episode, we would like to start our podcast by bringing you very good news. After about 3 years of full effort in dealing with the COVID-19 outbreak back in 2020, Indonesia is now progressively recovering and growing stronger. This fact is evident from various aspects. To name a few, we can see schools and universities are being reopened. People are going back to work at office after a while doing the work from home. And this might be the most favorite thing for everyone, that the tourism industry has started to go back on track.
That's right. Reported by Indonesia's Central Statistical Agency, there was a 10,000% increase of foreign tourist arrival in Indonesia last year, from around 5,000 tourists in 2021 to 530,000 in September 2022. This is very wonderful news for everyone. We believe everyone is now bringing their spirit back to enjoy traveling to long-desired destinations.
Yes, and for any of you considering visiting Indonesia, there are different ways of having fun interaction with locals Indonesian. One of which is to have basic conversation. For this special episode, we are gonna be talking about common questions that locals ask to foreigners. This might be a helpful keystone of engaging with Indonesian and might be spice up your trip here. Now, without further ado, let's get into it.
Okay, firstly, some Indonesians can actually speak English, especially young people. However, it is only a small proportion out of the whole population, and Indonesians are very interested in foreigners coming to the country. Because of the language barrier, Indonesians would love and highly respect foreigners that are able to speak their language, and they will regard you as their close friends. To have this fun time exchanging conversations with locals, here are some examples of questions that foreigners get from the locals and their typical answers.
Great! So the first one, locals will firstly greet you by the time you meet them by saying "Apa kabar?" This phrase actually means "How are you?" in English. To answer this question, you can simply answer "Saya baik." That means "I'm fine." Don't forget to throw a smile whenever you meet locals and get asked by this type of question. You can certainly use this type of question to the locals and they will happily respond to you.
That's correct. And locals also like to ask your name. Locals will ask you, "Siapa namamu?" which actually means, "What is your name?" To answer this question, you can politely say, "Nama saya, da da da." You can actually spot similarities between Indonesian and English language here. Nama means name in English. Easy, right?
Yes, that's right. And the next one, locals like to ask your origin. When locals are interested to listen to your origin story, they will simply ask, "Dari mana asalmu?" which is, "Where do you come from?" If you get asked this type of question, you can simply answer by mentioning your home country or your hometown, even using this phrase, "Saya berasal dari." That means I come from. And some Indonesians are familiar with some cities overseas and they are very glad you can share your personal origin story with them.
Yes, and locals ask about personal questions too sometimes. This is the most interesting part of Indonesian culture. It might be a very personal question that we normally do not share with someone we do not really know of, but local Indonesians would ask these personal questions to foreigners, such as, "Berapa umurmu?" meaning, "How old are you?" And sometimes they also ask, "Sudah menikah?" or in English it translates to, "Are you married?" Actually, locals asking these types of questions do not necessarily regard this as a personal question and do not mean to be rude. They actually think it as a way to know more about you. To answer these questions, you can answer your current age for the former questions, and you can simply say yes or no to the later.
And the next one is locals' curiosity of your favorite Indonesian food. Funnily enough, Locals will ask about local food you might like. There are a lot of varieties of Indonesian food here, from street food, traditional food, fusion, and a lot more. Locals will use this phrase, apa makanan favoritmu? Meaning, what is your favorite food? And you can simply answer, saya suka nasi goreng, which translates as I like fried rice. Very simple, right?
It's very simple. And to recap this episode, those are some questions that foreigners commonly get asked from the locals. We have learned about how locals will ask about your current condition, your name, your origin, your personal informations. It must be understood that these questions work as a way for locals to get to know more about you, because they are very happy to welcome you for coming to the country. You can also ask the same type of questions to the locals you talk to have a more natural and fun conversation.
That's correct. And I'm pretty sure you learn more and more Indonesian every day as the time is up. We're looking forward to seeing you again soon in another episode. Stay tuned on basabasa.id and goodbye for now. Dadah!
Dadah!